Language in elections is important. We're standing as socialists. We're standing against the system of capitalism. We're standing in the slogan of making greed history, because greed, as I've outlined, fuels capitalism and its destruction in the political class, in the economic class, and in the environmental class. But language is important. For 12 years, New Labour, under Blair and Brown, have used the language that they're making things better, that change is good, that they have changed society for the better. That's the language that they use. But the reality is what I've just outlined. The reality is, in the last 12 years, the super wealthy have got richer than ever before. The planet is in a worse state than it was before, and more people have been thrown into poverty because of our system. The Scottish National Party, who are in government in Scotland, they use the language of being reformers. They call themselves social democratic. They stand for some sort of social reform. But look at the reality of who they've sided with economically. People like Tom Hunter, like Brian Souter, who both of whom got mega wealthy under the system of neoliberal capitalism. We in the Scottish Socialist Party alone stand for an independent socialist Scotland, not an independent neoliberal Scotland, an independent socialist Scotland where people could live in a society where people don't destroy everything in the pursuit of profit. And another danger in this election, in language, and one of the worrying things that may happen in this election, because the political class of the established capitalist parties are so discredited, the far right, the neo-Nazi fascist groups, may get a foothold in this election. But what language do they use? Like the British National Party, or even the UK Independence Party. They don't use the language to say, vote for us, we're fascists, vote for us, we hate everyone, vote for us, we'll kill everyone. They don't use that sort of language on the far right. What they say is they are different to everyone else, and they think the system has failed. But what do they blame the system on? They blame it on people that are different. They blame it on people that come to this country to work. They blame it on outsiders. They don't blame it on the system which we have to live in and our families have to live in. Oswald Mosley, who was the fascist leader in Britain in the 30s, when he started a new political party, he didn't call it initially the fascist party. He called it the new party, because he said he was new, he was different. He was different to anyone else. He wasn't the same political class. Of course, it was a hiding place for his fascist and racist ideas. So we have to be aware that the far right, if they get a fool in this election, the language they use will be a mask for what they really stand for, which is the politics of racism and hatred. The mask slips occasionally. The people may have seen and heard on the radio. This Radio Scotland had a phone-in on the BNP, and a number of people claiming not to be BNP members let the mask slip and outlined outrageous racist bile against several groups in our community. I complained about it to the police in terms of inciting racial hatred. It was in the papers yesterday. Had a couple of messages on my phone at work today on the answer phone. Quite brave, they left a message on the answer phone. The BNP, I assume they were. And do you know what they called me? A fascist. They called me a fascist because I was against people expressing their opinions. They've perverted language so much that people that stand in opposition to what they stand for, they can use the same language on them because of the messed up system that we live in. Now, we stand for a different sort of system in the Scottish Socialist Party. We stand for a different sort of society. Now, this election we're standing to get as many votes as possible, but it might come a bit too soon for us. As Jackie put it very eloquently, we might win all the arguments but lose the vote, even in the elections for these European Parliament. But we have to be ready. The capitalist system has collapsed in many ways. It's happened before in the past. And left-wing parties that present a different vision of the way we want to live can get support. Maybe not immediately during that class, because people are a bit confused as to what's going on, but a year or 2 years after. Because if we don't, then other people that stand for horrific solutions in society and for racist ideas might get a foothold. We need to get our act together on the left for that. The election is part of that process. The Scottish Socialist Party do not think that the capitalists should think anymore they can do what they want. We are saying things have consequences. Enough is enough. The planet is falling apart. The economy has fallen apart. We stand for a different sort of society. On the European election day, vote for the Scottish Socialist Party. If you're not a member, join the Scottish Socialist Party to help us in the election and beyond to build a broader left force. Make Greek history, make capitalism history, and vote for the Scottish Socialist Party.